What up, what up, what up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Sneaker History Podcast. I'm Robbie, chilling with my guys, Mike and Ro. About to give you guys a delectable episode. I've been watching a lot of Nailed It, so I've been thinking of food just nonstop.
You nailed that intro. So
How you guys doing?
Oh man, I'm doing good. Trying to adjust my body temperature because it was 80, a couple days ago. Now it's 40, so I'm not doing well with the weather. It's the cold. I don't like it.
Yeah, last
that's
time.
fine.
No, this last time we recorded, Mike was in a tank top looking swole, and now he's in a sweater.
Now I'm cold and just.
The inspiration's global warming.
Hide those muscles.
Gotta keep it warm. Shoot, man, how you doing, Rohit?
Oh, I'm doing well. Just, similar to you, just trying to stay warm. We've been a little more consistent with our weather being in that 50s and 40s range, but I definitely don't have the muscles to hide. So,
oh man.
Just stay cozy with some soup or some pizza like you've been eating that looks delicious.
Yo, man, Bombay pizza curry. If you guys are ever in the greater Portland area and have decided, you know what, I want some Indian food on my pizza, hit your boy up. I'll give you a good recommendation.
Yo, I gotta try that.
It doesn't sound as good, but when you see it, it looks like it came out of the heavens. So
no joke, it is the most vibrant pizza I've ever seen. Like
Really?
it
good.
literally looks like an Instagram filter come to life because the ingredients just kind of pop off the white canvas, if you will. So yeah, shout out to the pizza company that I'm referencing. We're not giving free plugs though. We already did that one. You guys paid attention.
We need some pies shipped.
Yeah.
And then we can disclose locations and possible sales. I'm just kidding. But that's kind of like the releases and the main part of our episode. There's some hot stuff. There's some stuff that's so cold it's ice cold, which also in a way means it's hot. So however you want to describe things, if you want to describe it cool as in hot or hot as in hot, there's a lot of good shoes coming out. But before we dive into the meat and potatoes of our episode, I believe Rohit has a review for us.
We do have a review. It's from Depict One. This is almost an amuse-bouche, if you will, of a 4-course meal that we're going to provide for you guys today. So I'll go ahead and read this review for us. Hey guys, I love this show and listen to every episode. Definitely give it a listen. You will not be disappointed. These guys are real dudes. I DM'd a question. They responded within a day with a linked article and advice to answer my question. I offered to fulfill Nick's wishes of dyeing the Paisley ones purple whenever they come out to be Prince themed, and he gave my customs page a follow on Instagram. Once again, real dudes, love listening to their stuff when working out or doing customs. Definitely worth a listen. Give them a sub. Peanut butter M&Ms are where it's at. Thank you, Depict One.
Nice. Hey, we have better response time than StockX customer service, just so y'all know that.
And we won't steal your data either.
All truths. And to the M&M point, I posted in our Discord that I have a box of M&Ms of the peanut butter variety. If you choose to DM me on there with your address, I'll send a pair out. A pack of M&Ms out to you.
Just a pair. He gives
Had a
me
couple
2
responses.
M&Ms.
They won't fit in the envelope, man. I'm cheap. I'm putting these things in like normal, white envelopes.
Listen,
so
the scarcity thing is good.
It'll only fit one bag per. But claim your M&Ms. Those are going out this holiday season. But
Yo, I'm about to make a burner account.
No, I'll just send you one.
I'm going to create a burner too. It's going to be Nick Engvall at Sneaker History.
On some Kevin Durant stuff.
It's like the epitome of me being lazy. Like, I just won't go to the store. I'm just going to have Robbie send me M&Ms.
Right? You're lucky I already have a lot of stamps. I always forget I bought stamps already. And then I realize I have a half a book at the house. And then I do that 2 more times. And then you just have a lot of stamps. So if you need stuff mailed, you know where to find it. But that's a great review, man. We appreciate anybody who takes the time to head over to Apple iTunes and drop us some kind or some constructive words. We enjoy both. But if you're listening on, let's say, Google Play, or you're listening on Spotify or SoundCloud, if we're still on there. I think we might be leaving SoundCloud. Just go ahead and hop on over to Apple iTunes, leave us that review. It does a lot. It helps us grow. It helps our cachet on the statistical side of podcasts. So every last bit helps, and we appreciate everybody.
Yep.
So what have you guys been rocking? What are you guys looking to cop? Like what's on the radar? What's on the feet?
Yeah. Well, I mean, of course, I had my immense amounts of sadness over the Thanksgiving week because I struck out on every which way and form to get the Kobe 5 Bruce Lee's. I even tried to buy them from Titan, which is like a store in the Philippines. I was in line. It's like, hey, you're next. Got to the store, sold out. So that was my last ditch effort and complete failure. But on the bright side, I was able to get a pair of Kobe 1 Protros in a blackout color for about $5 over retail. So all is kind of well in the world. So I'm pretty excited about those. And I've been rocking I don't know if you guys can see the 997s today, courtesy of the good folks over at Prospect. So yeah, man.
Very nice. You still got the Mamba mentality, and look at it this way: you're just saving up for the sixes, right?
Exactly. You're saving my tears or my money. I'm not quite sure which one yet.
I see. I also struck out in every sense imaginable, but unfortunately, because I have an ego and I had to have those white alternate pairs, I went ahead and did the damn thing and bought off a reseller. So here's hoping they're real, and I will not be crying fake tears or real tears, depending on in terms of what I'm been wearing. I actually got a pair of the Audi D Rose 6s, the mismatch joints, because I think when Lillard had I meant to say Dame Lillard. So when Lillard had the 61-point game, Adidas did that promotion where all Dame shoes were $61. So I copped a pair, and they are something nice. Even though I'm usually checks over stripes, that is something I like, that Dame 6 colorway. How about you, Robbie?
That's a great shoe. I've been rocking Air Max 90, so I've just been going back and forth between the orange pair and the infrared pair. I literally, it's every other day. It's one to the other. I haven't been able to pick a favorite. I will say that my infrareds came with a big old glue stain right on the right on the front toe box, and that's okay. I'm gonna wear them regularly, so it's gonna get messed up in some fashion sooner or later. But it's like, that's kind of a bummer. But whatever, it happens. And when it comes to Coppin, the New Balance 550 might have me mess around and buy my first pair of New Balances.
Well, you don't have any New Balances?
I've never owned a pair of New Balances. I don't own a pair of New Balances. I've always felt like it was just the wrong N. You know?
Go on.
Tell us more.
I mean, this Nike's the correct N, and it's just like I've never liked this. I've never liked the sideways N logo. It's like it makes me think Nike. I know it's not, but it's just I've never had any real urge to buy a pair of New Balances. But these 550 vintage pairs, there's a white and red and a white and blue, are geared towards the general public, like a GR type deal. There's no collaboration. They're just super clean. Like, I think for the same reason why I like the Ewing 33 and pretty much a lot of the Ewing designs, I don't mind a retro basketball shoe or a retro running shoe or even a retro lifestyle shoe. If it looks really good, it looks really good. So I'm finally going to drop that New Balance like stigma I have and just let the goodness shine. And I'm going to try to buy these. They could sell out. They might not though. So we'll have to see. But
gotta try.
I just need
I was gonna say, Robbie, as long as I've known you, the first couple episodes we did together, you were adamant that I'm only rocking Nike and occasionally Adidas. I'm not rocking Reebok, and then lo and behold, you're alongside Mike, part of the Reebok mafia now. And now I think same. Yeah, I think it's J.J. Watt, Allen Iverson, Mike Gilroy are the hierarchy of Reebok endorsees. So
it's true.
H-Town's finest.
I need my contract though. Then we put me on that list.
I mean, it's like these and the Reebok Club C is another shoe I just haven't pulled the trigger on, but it's been on my mind, and we'll talk about a particular collaboration on that shoe. But if it's just a good throwback looking shoe that I could wear to go pick up my groceries like I did at New Seasons today, where you kind of just drive up and don't have to go inside. If I can get in the car and wear these, which I guess I can do in any kind of footwear, but like these particularly are going to be good for everyday little errand runs. So I'm just excited about it, and I'm also excited that Rohit really is about that life, because a lot of us, myself included, will say, "Man, I need that shoe." Like I was talking big mess saying how badly I needed that Bruce Lee, but you don't see me, putting my money where my mouth is and paying resale on them.
Yep.
So I commend you for being about that business even after you've taken a loss at retail. So
Every loss amplifies the wins more, and I just hope that one of these days I don't have to pay the full resale price, and maybe I'm fortunate enough to hit retail. But yeah, I think it's also one of those things where if you don't do it too often, it's fine. But if you're one of the people
Yeah.
that's constantly supporting that resale economy, compose yourself and do better. That's all I ask.
well, people are starting to do a little bit better. Maybe it's on the buyer side, maybe it's on the seller side. But before we dive into our main topic, Mike put me on game with the fact that Kobe's aren't keeping their resale value outside of a couple weeks. They dip down. It's still expensive. You're still going to spend $300-$400. You can find some in the high 200s,
Yeah.
but it's been a shift. We're going on like 3 months away from a year bad anniversary of his death,
Mhm.
and people aren't as feverish to pay, as Russ would say, the most stupid fucking price that you can pay for a pair of shoes. So I don't think the Grinches that we'll talk about more are going to follow suit. But I think a lot of other Kobe retros are going to spike for the first couple weeks and then mellow out in about the 300 range, depending on what size you are. So if you're about that life too, and you're looking to pull the trigger on the secondary market, maybe just pump your brakes a little bit, let the heat cool off a little bit, and go buy a pair in a couple weeks.
That's exactly that, Robbie. I spent $280, and I'm looking at a website that lists out the same shoe for the same size that I copped. And right now, the highest ask for that shoe is $255. So there are truisms, if you will, to the words of both Robbie and Mike. So please ball responsibly and on a budget. And I'll use this segue to say, hey, Mike, how's your YouTube balling on a budget segment coming out?
Yo, it's going good, man. I actually gonna be doing another video this week, so it's kind of gonna be on a resale side of things, but also on Robbie's theory of getting rid of stuff you don't wear and using that money for something you really want. So gonna have kind of a hybrid topic this week.
Always looking forward to that. I learn a lot watching that. So shout outs to the Mad Watcher.
I appreciate you, man.
We love mixed content too, so a little bit of this, a little bit of that makes for a tasty episode. So make sure you're following Mike's YouTube channel, and stay tuned to all things sneaker history. But
Yes, sir.
as we transition into our main topic of shoes releasing in, let's just say, the December time, because some of these don't have a particular release date yet, but the way Nike's been doing things, we knew that J Balvin was going to release at some point in December, and then we get official news about 6 days before they actually release. So things move fast. So just because you're not seeing a release date that it's a particular day in December, don't necessarily think it's just going to get pushed all the way out, because it very well could get thrown on a calendar super fast. Kind of like the first shoe I want to talk about. This got on the calendar the day of recording. It's the 350 restock of the Bread Yeezys. I said that in kind of a weird order, but I think you still picked up what I meant. They were on all of our radars, I want to say, for the past 6 months that they were going to be coming. And
Yeah.
the second the utility black 500 released on Saturday, we had official news from Adidas that the breads were coming out. So I know in our group chat, a couple of us are looking forward to it. But how do you feel about the shoe releasing so far after its initial release? And are you going to be trying to buy a pair?
Yeah, I mean, I've already entered one raffle. Um, I think it kind of goes back to Kanye's entire plan of wanting to make the shoe available to everybody. I mean, maybe it's not exactly when people want it the first time, but I mean, he's kind of coming full circle with that idea and that quote unquote promise. So I think it's cool that they're releasing. I know the resellers aren't exactly happy because this is one of those pairs that was really high in value. So I know people are really trying to get them sold off before this weekend because once those, what they say about 500,000 pairs are produced to this restock, so that means that's going to tank the price of the resale market for now. But we know people are still, the bots are going to be out there getting hundreds of pairs at a time, so it's going to end up jacking it right back up the next day. So we just got to see.
Someone still kind of relatively new to that Yeezy phenomenon. I'm interested. This is the first Yeezy I've kind of gone in on a raffle for, and it's for my dear friend Robbie there. But it's a good looking shoe, and I'm wondering, similar to what we were saying about the Kobe, are we going to see an initial hot fire of a price point, and then a couple weeks later, because we're going to see some of the aforementioned heat that Robbie's going to allude to as we go on in this segment, are we going to see that price kind of come down the way we aren't expecting to usually see with Yeezys? Because one thing to say about the Yeezys is they always seem to hold their value, if not increase it. So as a sneaker noob and I guess just people watcher of consumables, I want to see what this shoe does, because I also think this might set a tone for future Yeezy retros in a sense.
I think it's going to set the tone too, because the zebra, those have come back I think 3 or 4 times now. But that's such a loud design that even somebody that likes Yeezy sneakers like Mike and myself have no interest really in your 4th try or your 3rd try at a zebra, because I didn't want it the first 2 times you showed it to me. But
Same.
black Yeezys, I think, do a lot better and look a lot better. Like this bread pair I've wanted for since the first time I saw it. I believe it was a Black Friday release. No, that was the 3-piece. That was a Black Friday. I'm not sure when this was.
This was that same time frame though. I don't know if it's exactly Black Friday, but you're right, like, in that right time frame.
It just looks good, man. Like it doesn't have any of the crazy striping. It doesn't have any
Mm-hmm.
translucency.
Simple.
Throughout the upper. Yeah, it's just simple. The 350 supply isn't my favorite branding, but it's whatever, man. It just looks good. Like you can rock these with a pair of black sweats or black jeans and just feel snazzy. And it's the same thing with the utility black that released last weekend, the 500 I was talking about earlier.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a pure black. It's kind of like a faded black, but it still is going to look good with almost any outfit because it's just so neutral.
Mm-hmm.
Like I didn't try to buy a pair of those, but I wish I would have now. I have a pair of the 750 utility blacks, and I wear them all the time. Like that's just such a good wearable shoe because it's simple and it's black, and that's one common denominator between those 3 Yeezys. So,
Yeah.
listeners, are you trying to buy a pair? Do you already have a pair you're trying to offload? Let us know. How you feeling about this?
How do you like the
So,
380s? Before I know we're about to jump over, but because the 380 Onyx just released this past weekend,
yes.
and I literally went on Foot Locker. I guess it released Saturday. I went on Foot Locker Sunday morning, just about a full size run still sitting, and you could add to cart and check out. There still a bunch of sites. I think Kith still has them. Concepts might still have them. A lot of places do. How do you guys feel about the 380s? And that's one you can definitely get under retail if it's not a reflective pair.
It's too busy. It's black,
Yeah.
but it looks like the alien shoe, and that's okay, but it's just not my style personally.
Yeah.
No, I'm the same way. It looks like a very busy rug, and I'm sure it ties the outfit together if done nicely. But yeah, it's just not for me. You also acknowledge that sneakerheads and sneakerdom is very much a young person's game, and I'm willing to be an OG and just rock people and like hype them up if they buy it. But I will possibly be sitting these ones out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, as we get older and as our listeners get older, Maybe you like really crazy designs and crazy colors to help you feel youthful. Maybe you feel like you can't rock them. I'm more in the camp of I feel like I can't rock them, but I don't care if I feel like I can rock these next shoes because I'm going to rock them anyway. Been talking about
Nice.
it many times, all throughout the Discord, at least 3 different episodes. But the J Balvin's, man, that shoe it's like if Reptar did some acid. And it's
Hey, Robbie, can you educate these young folk on who
They
Reptar
don't
is, just in
know.
case?
They don't
Reptar is
know.
the fictional dinosaur figure or collectible from Rugrats. So
They're Godzilla, basically.
yeah, it's their universe as Godzilla. Um, but you definitely, I don't know if we just associate spikes with dinosaur tails or if these are supposed to be dinosaur influence. I'm pretty sure they're not, but it gives me dinosaur vibes or those scissors you used in elementary school with the crisscross
Designs and all.
pattern.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
talking about?
Hmm.
If those came from Britain and they were just all busted like British teeth, like those scissors, like all uneven cuts, just busted cuts.
That reminds me, speaking of animated shows, that reminds me of one of my favorite Simpsons jokes where I think it was Lisa is at the orthodontist and the orthodontist telling her to get her teeth in order shows her the big, beautiful book of British smiles, and it's really a
Oh.
horror show of orthodontics. I was going to say these shoes remind me more of like a Doppler effect, maybe because it's that green, yellow, orange,
Hmm.
red middle, but I like the Reptar call out because I'm about that Nicktoon life. So good job there, Robbie.
Thank you. I try. But it's
10
just
points to
like,
Robbie.
but I mean, it's just like in a world full of Air Jordan 1s that can look like twins of one another. These
Mm-hmm.
are just something completely different. I just I can't get over it, man. Like these are the hot fire. These are the Dylon
Dylon.
in my book.
uh, I, I'm not a fan,
You don't have
but
to be.
Robbie, because you're my boy, I'll hit that raffle for you.
Hey, I'm thinking this should be a possible segment idea going forward, and maybe this is another thing for people that want to join our Patreon. I will give up a raffle slot to anybody that, as long as you join our Discord and join our Patreon, which I believe is $5 a month. Correct?
For the premium, yes. You can join I believe it's the plain Discord, the vanilla Discord for free, but there is a pay to play on the deluxe version.
The
Dang.
deluxe version now offers the retro raffle because you can't spell retro without row, and that's your boy. So please.
Boom. Look at that. The plug.
That was beautiful. That was just I know you didn't think it out, but that was well thought out on the fly. So that's super good.
Appreciate it.
So I'm gonna keep this flip flopping between Adidas and I guess Nike Jordan for a moment, because the next one I want to talk about is this Forum 84 made for Adidas skateboarding. It's actually the signature shoe of Hector de Silva, and it comes in a really clean white and navy look with some gum bottoms. That's all fine and dandy, but I think it's so cool that Adidas is doing what Nike has been doing with like the Bruin and Blazer and Dunk, and giving old basketball shoes a revitalized look at life, a new look at life, revitalizing them. Comma. We'll put commas in there and rephrase that. But this giving old shoes a new look at life is so cool because all of these shoes were being skated in anyway. So to go ahead and make these an official part of Adidas skateboarding, I think is amazing. And we'll be seeing the forum in a couple different ways throughout the next couple months. But Adidas skateboarding has been on a little tear for quite some while, and they have quite the team. So it's just like you give all your attention to dunks and you think about how quickly dunks come and go every week and how badly you want them. But if you want to try something different, and if you're looking for a change of pace while you're on the skateboard, you might want to look at these forums, man. I just love the forum. So I guess that's why I'm so excited about these. But just old 80s
I like 'em.
basketball stuff kicks ass sometimes. And this is one of
Yeah.
those times.
Nah, this was done well. Look at the pictures of them right now, and they're, dude, I rock these. I mean, I'm a fan of just skate shoes in general, so I'm a big fan of this one. It looks like it's pretty decently soft leather. some decent colors. It's not just some random stuff they put together. So I'm about this, man. I like that.
Similarly, I'm a sucker for a purple sneaker that's done right, and this is just that perfect shade of purple, and the white and the black really complement it. And kind of reading the press release, they're saying this skater, and I apologize, Mr. De Silva, I'm not familiar with your work, but this is going to make me get familiar real quick because you do truly have an unmistakable finesse about you on the board, and you do have bold outfit choices because if I compare these shoes with the Jinkos that I think you're rocking in the photo,
Uh,
my God, I'm making a comeback. So yeah, more power to you. Definitely a shoe to check out in the future.
Man, it's just like to kind of wrap up these shoes. It's it's cool when you not only bring a shoe back, but you bring it up with like updates because it has adiprene, it has some EVA midsole tooling, which isn't new, but it's an upgrade. You know, you had a double cup rubber sole. Stuff like that is just gonna make the shoe better fitted for what you're trying to sell it as. So props to Adidas, man. They just I'll say it over and over
mm-hmm,
again, but try something different. And if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. But whatever. You get to say you did something different.
for
Um,
sure.
so speaking of different, I'm gonna go back to Jordan Brand and just touch on a golf shoe. I don't golf at all. I don't care about golf. The Masters is a guaranteed nap in my book. But they're releasing the metallic fives in golf cleat, and I know they've done Concords. I know they've done all these crazy shoes
Mm-hmm.
in golf cleat form, and it's just, is it just me that finds it so crazy for people to be shining like that on the golf course? Like, I always imagined this like old man leather shoes on the golf course, but now you can rock metallic fives, and that's just, it's baffling. Am I the only person baffled by that, or does it make
No,
sense
dude.
to you?
Dude, it makes perfect sense because I play golf sometimes. I'm terrible at it, but at least I can go out there and look fresh to death. Like I can shank a ball 300 yards left to the next course, but I look so good doing it. So I I'm about it. These things, golf. If you look at the resale on the golf shoes from Jordan, they're insane. Like the Jordan ones are like a grand. Every Jordan 5 that's released has been over $200-300, well over
What?
retail. So yeah, dude. I mean, you got Cousteau out there just talking him up because he's a big golf guy and he gets the Jordan cleats and stuff. And once he gets the sneaker world talking and buzzing, got that price driving straight up.
I think golf is probably an underrated aspect of Jordan's mythology because we know him to be this competitive gambler, and
Mm-hmm.
some of his best stories involve the golf course.
Yep.
It's only natural for the shoes to also kind of join him on the fairways, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
I will say this. I agree with what Mike's saying. I'm not much of a golfer. I have a set of clubs. Occasionally, if I want to feel really bad about myself, I'll take them to Top Golf and have middle-aged white people laugh at me as I take shank after shank. But it is crazy to me to see that invasion, lack of a better term, of Jordan in this lily white space. And more power to it because I think it attracts a different and more unique and youthful clientele to the sport. And it's kind of the first evolution, if you will, because Tiger Woods made it so much more accessible for all of us that previously thought, hey, this is a sport that's not necessarily meant for us. But yeah, this is only the next logical step. And then you look at something like the match this week where you had Steph Curry put on a show in terms of being a golfer and being a high level golfer at that, despite being a pro basketball athlete, which is something we would never really think of in terms of a cross sport athlete. So more power to it. I love the cross collaboration, similar to the sneaker we were just talking about, where it started off as a basketball sneaker and now it's evolving into a skateboarding sneaker. This is very similar concept. What was once a basketball sneaker is now pretty much hot flames on the golf course. So more powers to Jordan Brand. Let's see more of this type of effort.
Thank you for connecting those dots because I didn't even make the connection between Jordan's history as a golfer and his shoes being on the golf course now. So that's a good take. Um, that's really interesting. So I'm gonna go back to Adidas. I'm just gonna keep flip flopping. I'm gonna hit you with two shoes though. It's two NFL players getting Ultra Boosts, paying homage back to their earlier days in life. So we have an Ultra Boost DNA for Jalen Ramsey that calls back to his Brentwood Academy high school. So they went all the way back to his high school for these white, red, and it looks like navy I'm kind of colorblind. It's either black or navy, red and navy uppers. But I'm just a sucker for a white Ultra Boost clip and white boost. Like you put that combination on any shoe, and I think it looked like fire. So I'm pretty excited about those Jalen Ramseys. I haven't been excited for an Ultra Boost in a very long time, though I love that shoe. And the second one is a Pat Mahomes inspired Texas Tech Ultra Boost. So this one comes in like the mid-top version, where it's kind of like a little socklet at the top, but just another high-quality Ultra Boost offering from their NFL stars. And we all know that there's NFL representation at Adidas, but we don't hear about it nearly enough. So I think it's cool to release 2 Ultra Boosts for, I think, 2 of the more popular players in the league. So I'm definitely feeling both of these. If I can cop a pair at the Adidas employee store, I 100% will be doing so. But what do you guys think of them?
Yeah. I mean, I think they're good looking shoes. Nothing I'm going, run to the store to get. I mean, if I can get them for, a pretty decent discount, yeah, why not? I mean, I've always been a fan of the Ultra Boost, always will be. This is one of the things I feel like is going to get lost in the shuffle because it's just a hard time to release shoes with so much heat coming in for every which way. You got Yeezy restocks, you got Jordans coming out. It's just so much happening that it's just hard to keep up. And in the sense of it's just too much information coming at you at one time.
I mean, as the resident Kansas City Chiefs fan, I'm legally obligated to like everything Patrick Mahomes endorses. So I will continue that streak. It's exactly to what you just said, Mike. This is a great shoe when we have kind of that bare dog days of the winter.
Mm-hmm.
If there's such a thing that exists, this would be a great shoe then. But right now, in the middle of the holiday inferno, where we're seeing heat drop almost every other day, this is a nice consolation prize. But I don't know. Maybe if I'm at the employee store with Robbie and we both see them, I'll cop a pair to support my brother in arms. But it's interesting to me that Adidas has arguably the 2 best players at their position, and we're not seeing anything other than a repurpose of a silhouette. So I'm wondering, are we going to see down the line the Ramsey equivalent of the Zoom Revis, or does Patrick Mahomes get that signature athlete treatment? Because granted, I am biased. We're seeing a type of player we've never really seen before within the confines of the sport. And I would just think Adidas has to kind of capitalize on that. And maybe the fact that them being based in Europe, they're not seeing the importance of Patrick Mahomes the same way an American company might. But more and more good shoes, maybe willing to get them if they're at that right retail price.
Yeah.
So you're not just, you don't have to keep saying you're biased with Mahomes. He's going to be one of the great talents, I think, ever. So there's no bias there. You're just speaking truth.
Oh no, it's one of those things where I literally have to pinch myself at night because he makes the impossible look like it's nothing. Shout outs to Adidas. But it's just fascinating. Like, we don't have anything that we can leverage. So whenever we're watching sports, we always have to have this idea of who does this player remind us of? And he's truly one of those guys that I can't think of anything. So it's one of those things where I keep saying it because I keep expecting somebody to say, oh, this was all a joke. He's actually a member of the Houston Texans, who are a competent football franchise, who know what they're doing. So it's one of those things. But yeah, you're right. I will put down my appreciation of Mahomes. But yeah, I get giddy as a schoolgirl when we talk about our Lord and Savior, number 15, Pat Mahomes.
I mean,
we don't have a football team in Texas anymore. I officially kicked them out. I said no more. No more. You can't be here anymore.
Yeah, they both kind of suck right now. But I would have to say Pat Mahomes is like Aaron Rodgers, but better. Just like if everything on Aaron Rodgers got turned up, you'd have Pat Mahomes. Yeah. And Aaron Rodgers is another generational talent, so that's just how good Pat Mahomes is. But it's we won't keep ringing that bell. We'll go ahead and transition off of him, and we'll go to Mike's favorite brand, Reebok, and honestly, one of my favorite brands too. That's not just all Mike. They're great people to work with. But we have another skateboarding collab on the Kamikaze 2 Low. And this is where I show my age. Is it Dime or Dime?
I thought it was Dime.
That looks like a Dime to me. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's Dime. But this really clean, I don't want to say the Kamikaze 2 Low looks better than the Mid, but it's one of the few shoes where if you just cut the top off, that's a rap lyric in the 2000s somewhere. But if you drop the top, it looks equally good. Like you don't lose
Mhm.
anything by making it a low top. And I didn't know there were even skateboarding shoes from Reebok or that they were even doing that. So to see this collab, I'm excited for it. I've enjoyed every single kamikaze I've seen come out this year so far. So
Yeah, I mean,
props.
typically with Reebok, you'll see those Palace collaborations with like the Workout Plus or the Club C. So they dabble a little bit in skateboard. There's no dedicated shoe, but these, man, I guess it's kind of my miss out, my FOMO of the Bruce Lee's. The yellow and black, of course, look amazing, but also, I mean, I like all three, but that black with the icy sole, mm, just does it for me. So these are all done well, and of course, I'm always a fan of low tops because of some of the like the '90s basketball shoes can get a bit tall. So when they can chop the top off of it and still make it look good, I'm all about it.
I like this shoe a lot, and knowing some of the history behind the shoe, if I correct me if I'm wrong, guys, this was the Sean Kemp sneaker.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir.
Raymond.
It's the Rain Man. Shout outs to him and GP. It's really interesting because the other vibe I'm getting from this particular colorway that I think we're all kind of going gaga over is this is eerily reminiscent of that old Mariners colorway. Like I would say what we kind of almost attribute with that Ken Griffey first sneaker. So I'm all about this, and I like this low cut version. It just looks slick and it looks completely unique in the best way imaginable.
Yeah.
So this is something I'll definitely cop for sure. But reading more about it, if it is French Canadian because it's based out of Montreal, then maybe Dime is the correct thing. But we'll cover our bases because we're a bilingual podcast that embraces everyone.
Correct us. Send us an audio message. We'll listen.
Maybe we're just overthinking it, but maybe we're wrong. So better to be safe than sorry.
Word.
Mike brought up Pata and the Club C. That shoe's actually releasing also. So another Reebok here. And to me, the Club C is just one of those timeless old shoes that never looks bad. Like I need to get off my not owning Club C horse. I should have bought a pair on Reebok's Black Friday sale or weekend sale, and I missed my chance there. But it's just a damn good looking shoe. There's some Pan African flavors in there, and it just looks spot on. So cop those on the 5th of December. That's a good shoe.
Yeah, they're good. I haven't seen too many pictures of them. I saw them kind of in passing, but no, they look good. I'm in the same boat as you, Robbie. I've always been like Reebok, like basketball, and I've never done the Club C's. I bought my son a pair of Club C's, and I opened the boxes like the traditional all whites. I'm like, man, how have I bought my child a pair of these and I haven't got a pair of my own feet yet? So that's going to be something I have to snag in one of these crazy sales that are going to happen between now and New Year's.
Oh, for sure. Now I was gonna say you're there's stunting like your daddy, and then there's stunting better than your daddy, and that's what I kind of see you did, Mike. So more power to you. You gotta
let them shine, man.
That's beautiful, Mike. You always keep your son laced up.
I try.
Yeah.
And I'm sure on round 2, your next child's gonna have plenty of shoes to wear.
Oh yeah, there's already a pair of Jordan 1s. The was it the satin snake sitting behind me on my shelf over here. I think I'm in the way, but the little ones on that white box.
Oh,
already
okay.
Ready to go.
When you stay ready, you don't have to get ready.
Right there.
So
facts. Bars.
So next up here, we have the shoe I'm most excited for of any. I would say I'm more excited for this shoe than either the Kobe 5 or 6. Because the 5 and 6 are great, but they're not my favorite Kobe's. The LeBron 8 might be my favorite LeBron ever made. And we have official images of a Lakers colorway, which double makes it so I have to buy it. But it's just, you have to have a pair of 8s in your hand to really appreciate everything that's going on there. Like from the plastic, I don't want to call them like paneling, but they're basically panels on the sides of the shoes and how that feels next to the brush suede, how that feels next to the leather, how that feels next to the swoosh. As you just run your hand across the shoe, it's just like, it's art. And the V1, which is this shoe, just has such a great texture to it. And it's actually the last LeBron shoe in the inline series to originate or have its first debut version of it be leather and materials and suedes. There's a lot of different options they threw on the LeBron 8 when it first came out. But it's the last of a time where shoes were made out of quote unquote conventional materials. And it perfectly married the full length Air Max and the early days of Flywire to make a shoe that's just like, I can't think of a more perfect basketball shoe. Like the LeBron 8 is just top 5 for me. I kind of wish it wasn't a Lakers colorway because I like the Lakers. Obviously, I love them. That's nothing new. But like, you can't rock these with anything. So they're going to be a situational shoe. But if they bring back the Breads or the USAs, I mean, it goes on and on. I'm going to buy them all. Like, I'm going to be in trouble, big trouble with these LeBron 8s.
I don't know how to follow up Robbie's love letter to the LeBron 8 just now. But I have to disagree with you, though. You can wear that shoe with anything. I'm a firm believer of a basic T-shirt, jeans, and throw whatever color shoe on, man. It don't matter. Show them what's up. But I'm with you. I'm buying them. Whatever color comes out. I mean, from the Laker pair to the supposed retro, the South Beach and the Miami Nights, high, lows, V1, V2. They gotta catch them all. About that Pokemon life with these.
I defer to Ash and Gary over there because they both penned love letters to this sneaker, and I was slipping on game because this is my very first sight on these, and it's exactly that. And I hate to sound like the annoying little tag along brother, but my God, the Laker LeBron power couple. Yeah, the reverberations were felt on court, but my goodness, these are fire. These are flame.
Yes.
I am now also thinking about changing my allegiances to Laker-based sneakers for this year, and these might be it. If the Grinches aren't going to happen, and more than likely the Grinches aren't going to happen. But this, like, holy cow, folks.
Yep.
It truly deserves to be watched, and when we're looking at the Sneaker News post on it, and we're currently seeing that 3.28 is the average rating of 20 votes, what are people thinking? Like, this is a fantastic shoe, and I'm here for the renaissance of the 8, and it's only fitting that that is probably the best testament a LeBron shoe can be if it's that number 8, because there we go. There's that Kobe synergy, and this is a fantastic shoe. I think this pairs nicely with the media days that came out just this year, so keep on keeping on with the LeBron Laker colorways because it's working.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, not only is it a Kobe connection, but it's just a connection back to when I feel like LeBron was at full strength. And not like he's slow now or not at full strength anymore, but just LeBron in those mid-20s was just a Mack truck with a Ferrari engine. It made no sense. It's beautiful. And a lot of the LeBron shoes over the past year and a half have been able to be purchased on sale.
Yeah. So
if you don't get these right away, just keep your eyes peeled. You should be able to get them at some point. What kind of rocks is that, like the LeBron 7 media days that Roe alluded to, like the Kobe's, have gone down in price. A size 12 is $240, and they were in the 400s when they first released. So I probably shouldn't have looked on StockX.
No, it's fine, Robbie. I was going to say this, and please correct me if I'm wrong, but what helped the price come down on those media days was I think they came out the week before the Ben and Jerry dunks, and I was so happy that those Ben and Jerry dunks took all the hype away because that's when you started seeing that price come crashing down. So I'm hoping that one of these other shoes kind of serves as the meat shield, so to speak, and we can all benefit from getting a pair of these 8s.
Yeah, man. And also there's a restock after they won the finals, so they put a couple more pairs out in the market.
Man, I'm not gonna lie. So that's only $40 over retail. I'm gonna put a bid on these.
And here we go. Do it.
I support it.
I second that.
I think it's been my fourth.
As I'm looking for them right now, I'm like, let's see if how much they're in a size 10.
Man, that's just, yeah, that's gonna be a blue jeans and a white tee type situation, like Mike was talking about.
Telling you, man.
I'm gonna start calling you the franchise boy if you do that.
Only tall tees.
You got to be careful with that franchise boy topic because you could be the franchise of a team, and you think you're ready to lead a franchise of clothing in your own little clothing line, in your shoe line, but you might not be quite ready. And I'm talking about one Steph Curry, who is dropping his Curry brand.
Dang.
And I'm not gonna lie to you, I only hate Steph Curry because he plays for the Warriors. Steph Curry is phenomenal. Like, I get goosebumps when I go back and watch highlights of him against Oklahoma City or against the Knicks or pretty much any game he's healthy playing in, because he's electrifying. He is absolutely sensational. But that logo is busted. Like, that Steph Curry 30 logo looks like a raptor making a figure 8 motion. I don't get it. He has the best people
See, I
around
thought it was a
him.
rapper drawing the gang sign myself, but yeah.
Yeah, gang sign,
He's cripping on him.
gang sign John Wall. But Steph Curry has the best people around him. He's a fantastic man, very bright mind. Why'd you okay that logo, guy? Like, why?
I don't know why they changed it. The SC30 was perfect to me. It wasn't like painful to the eye. This one, I almost like for like a quick second, if you glance and look back, it looks like was it the S skateboarding, like that E they use? It looks very reminiscent of that because of all the curvature, but I don't know. I'm glad to see him get his own branch of Under Armour. That's cool. I mean, that's legacy money right there. You're doing the real thing. You're leaving something behind. But I don't know who was in a room that's like, hey, let's change your logo to this nonsense because it looks awful.
No, maybe this is Under Armour playing a prank on Steph because he had some things to say about Kevin Plank when he came out in favor of Trump. But my goodness, it's the rheumatoid arthritis raptor. I don't know if he's throwing it up, if he's working on an hard day. It's just terrible. But I'm all about Steph. Keep getting them checks, Steph. And to your point, Mike, it's legacy money, and this is something that is just bigger than basketball. So I'm happy for him, but let's just do better.
Yeah, Under Armour do better for Steph. He deserves it.
But Mike, you brought up a good point. So the logo wasn't only not an eyesore; it was a really good logo, and it has recognition to it. I almost said name recognition, but it has brand recognition to it. I see that SC30 and I instantly know what I'm looking at. You don't have to have that ugly ass Under Armour logo. You can just have SC30 and I know exactly what's going on. Why do you need to change that? He said in a press release that he's not trying to be Jumpman with Nike, but Jumpman was smart enough to know that you don't want to go ahead and change what people understand. Like,
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense to me. And the shoes, to kind of come more full circle, like, the shoes are meh. Like, the clothing looks like really good stuff you get at Target. And Target stuff is cool. I mean, like, there's nothing wrong with getting Target activewear. But I don't want to pay that Steph Curry premium price.
Yeah.
The shoes are just whack, man. Like, the shoes look like a champion shoe that can't use anybody else's logo. Because the SC30 is kind of embossed on the side of it, and it's on the tongue. But outside of the pull tab, like, you don't know. Like, you put the shoe in a room down with a Spalding shoe, a champion shoe, and a Fila, and say which one is Steph Curry's shoe. I don't think you're easy. Or let's be nicer. You put an Anta basketball in there. You put this shoe, and you put a 361 shoe. You're not going to know which one's the Under Armour Steph Curry premium model, signature line, deluxe edition, multi-champion.
And that's what's going to hurt the sales. That's going to hurt the sales because, I mean, people like us or serious ballers are going to be in the sites like, oh, okay, this is Steph Curry's new shoe. But the kid who say, oh, I'm going, God, I would say going buy shoes for school, but that's not a thing right now. But there's got a new basketball shoe, whatever. They go in, it's like, I don't know what that is because they don't recognize the logo. They don't know what it is. They may have a picture of Steph on the display, hopefully. But other than that, I mean, if you're going into, say, Dick's Sporting Goods, typically they don't have those self-sustaining displays with the athlete. They just have athletes everywhere. So you go in there, And in passing, you're not going to know what that is. Your mom's not going to know, oh, that's a Curry if she's going Christmas shopping for you. Like that's going to hurt it. And I think they're going to have to revert back to it if they want to do anything, especially with uh, a lackluster design issue. It could perform awesome, but when you look at that compared to what he had been doing, like the last Curry, like he got back on track, and these things were selling out pretty well. And I mean, they weren't sitting on shelves as like that. The 3 or I guess the 4 or 5 were sitting, but this latest couple models were good colorways, good design, good on court performance. We don't know anything about this yet, and the look and the lack of recognition is not going to help it.
I'm wondering if this is a proof of concept now that he's got his own line amongst the Under Armour arsenal. And one thing you had mentioned, Mike, about kids, I think kids are Steph Curry's biggest proponent in terms of fandom. Mm-hmm. He does so well in that under 10 crowd that maybe just that display of him being by the shoe is enough. And to your point of maybe the mom doesn't know it's a Steph Curry shoe, if they continue designs like this, the mom is going to know because it's going to be the only shoe that's still available on the shoe because and it's one of those things where maybe the bar is set so low that when we talk about the next iteration or the next iteration of the shoe, we're going to be like, oh, this is such an improvement from that very first one. But this is very frustrating because to me, Steph was the closest thing we've had to Jordan in terms of being bigger than the brand that represents him, as in terms of a player being at his absolute peak of his powers. And it's almost kind of been regressed or washed away. And I could make the argument that started when KD moved to the Warriors because some could say, hey, maybe that's Nike trying to get their foothold, pardon the bad pun, in that Golden State empire because we've always attributed Golden State being that Steph team and more importantly or unofficially that Under Armour team. So yeah, a lot of confusion here, similar to how Steph confuses us when we watch him play basketball because he does so many great things. I'm just wondering, like, what is the long game with this? Because that's the only thing I can kind of think of that's a redeeming value about the shoe.
Yeah.
So, in my book, this shoe is competing with the Giannis shoe. It's not competing with LeBron or KD or Kyrie. Like, the shoe, like, the baseline you're putting out isn't even competing with other brands' best. Like, why even do it? Joel Embiid's Under Armour signature shoe looks better than this. Like I'd much rather
Kyrie
have the
too
Embiid.
with Under Armour branding,
and that's okay because the Curry one is a hyperdunk with Under Armour branding.
True.
I mean, it's so perplexing with Steph because, like Rohit was saying, he's so popular with kids. Adults recognize what real is, and he's great. But like they haven't been able to nail the shoe stuff in a hot minute. And that's with the 7 being really good. Mike said it. It didn't like fly off the shelves, but it sold well and it looked great. I have 2 pairs in the closet right now, given the fact that they're both dead stock says something. But they're really good shoes. Like that's the first time I opened up an Under Armour box and was like, damn, this is a quality product. Because my only other firsthand experience with them was when I was back home in Vegas one time. I went to the Under Armour outlet and I tried on the Curry 3. And I was like, what is this monstrosity piece of garbage? And I took it off, put it away, and never once looked at another Steph Curry shoe until the 7. So like
Curry 1 was legit. I say I bought the Curry 1 when it released because I was curious. And I would say that was probably one of the shoes I played ball in the most. And they just kind of went, then they started ticking right back up, and now we're going just unrecognizable.
The Curry 1 and 2 are both really good shoes. I just happened to have my 1 experience before the 7 be one of the worst shoes of the bunch.
Yeah.
So
yeah, those are trash.
That's and it was at the outlet, so no wonder why the Curry 3 was sitting. But even at like $60, I was like, you couldn't give me the shoe if it came with $60. Like I wouldn't take it.
It's the one Curry 3 that didn't go in.
Yeah, it's nuts. Like I don't think these are gonna have like they're not gonna retro this shoe in 20 years to commemorate Steph. Like
no,
what the fuck?
We
spoke about it in almost a full year ago when we talked about Under Armour's problems, and we talked about the mismanagement of the Curry line and not being able to hold on to that thunder. And this is just like another example of that. who knows? Maybe we could all be wrong, and they sell 300,000 units to people under 15. And
Hey, I hope
that's
they do.
yeah, no. And if that's what works for them, they did their marketing. They did their market analysis really well, and they know who they're selling shoes to, and power to them. But I don't think that's going to happen. So we'll see. Very interesting time with Under Armour basketball right now. And let's just go ahead and wrap up on the shoe we've been talking about on and off this whole episode, the Kobe 6 Grinch. The shoe that is probably the most famous of all the Kobe shoes to ever release. I personally don't feel that way, but a lot of people would.
Yeah.
I mean, as a guy that doesn't like Christmas, I mean, I like Christmas. Just it's the Christianity part about it that freaks me out. But like the fun part of presents, that part's cool. And just like to fantasize about wrapping these up and gifting them to myself days after Christmas is almost intoxicating. Like I want them that bad.
Oh, dude, I'm literally just like walking around the picture, just showing my wife. I'm like, she's like, oh yeah, I get them. It's like, no, it's not that I don't think you'll get them. It's the fact you're going to jump through 35 million hoops and they're going to still tell you, no, we don't want your money. That's the part that's going to make me sad because I'm going to sit there, whether it is Christmas Eve or the day after Christmas, which is true to Nike fashion. Let's release them when you can't wear them on Christmas. I'm like, click, please. I'm going to beg everyone in the Discord, if they're not going for their own particular size, to please help me with a size 10. I'm just gonna beg. I have no shame in this at this point because I'm just gonna ask whoever will listen.
No, I think that's the best way of doing it, and I truly hope there's a Christmas miracle for all three of us and four of us, and they just make 500,000 pairs, and they decide for every Jordan 11 Jubilee, we're going to make a corresponding Grinch, and it's a package duo. But yeah, I think our hearts are going to get 3 sizes too small because we're both, or rather all 3 of us are going to end up with L's, and it's sad. But you know what? You got to hold out hope, but hope is what kills you. And for Kobe, a man who is so fixated and loved the mythology of everything, this is almost a perfect compliment to him. And I just hope somebody hits on these sneakers, and I hope somebody wears them and doesn't exactly flip them.
Yeah, the chances of all 4 of us hitting on it, I would say, are just as good as one of us being hit by lightning.
Yeah, if we all hit, I'm going to buy a lottery ticket. Just right. We all know that now.
I'll a tinfoil suit and just start going back to the Midwest chasing storms.
Like, the luck gauge is fully filled. Time to go execute this special move. Lotto ticket.
I mean, I should get one win. I've never won on a sneakers app ever. In anything I've tried for in a raffle, or I've never won. I think I deserve one. I don't care if this is the only one I get. It's worth it because I got 1 pair of Kobe 6s left and they're falling apart. I just need one.
Yeah, man.
This would be my first pair of Kobe 6s as well, and yeah, this is the one to have.
This would be my 3rd pair, but I haven't had a pair since they originally released. So
that's what I'm
I'd
saying.
be excited. Like, but don't let it get you down. If you don't get a pair, you can buy a pair of ZX 6000s from Adidas that look super sick. They drop December 4th. So way before the Grinches, but there's always another shoe you can get. So as Nick says, if you don't win, go try something completely different. Like go try a ZX 6000. Go get a 550 New Balance. Go mix it up. But with that's kind of the releases we're looking forward to or have on our radar throughout December. If there's something you're particularly looking forward to, drop us a comment. Let us know. Shoot us a DM. However you feel fit. But that Apple iTunes /podcast review would probably be the best way for me to nudge you that way. But I've been Robbie. Make sure you're following Sneaker History, and you can follow me at RAHBEE702. Mike, where can they find you?
Yeah, man. Of course, it's Sneaker History. You guys can also find me on Instagram and Twitter at MadWatcher789 and on YouTube at Mike Guillory. So I'm there. Rohit, where are you at?
I'm at RohitM13 on Instagram and on Twitter at Roheezy. Please leave a review, subscribe to the podcast, like us on Apple Podcasts, be a member of our Patreon and our Discord. We love the community. We love you guys listening to us every week. So continue doing that, and we'll continue to bring that hot fire.
We will do our thing. Mike's dog wants you to leave a review so bad he's begging for it. So
Yeah, he's begging to get put outside. That's what he's begging for.
and also reviews outside and reviews. But
outside and review.
All right, that's the end of that stupid joke. So, thanks everybody for rocking with us, and have a great rest of your day. See ya.
Peace.
See you guys.